start with, of course, the guys out west, the Thunder and the Nuggets. Woo! 3-2 series lead for OKC in this one. This was a fun one. SGA finishes with 31, 6, and 7. Jalen Williams showed up big with 18 and 9. Jokic, of course, with his 44 and 15. Jamal Murray had 28. There were 6 scorers on that Thunder squad that were in double figures. This was a tight one. They are now, of course, a win away from going to the conference finals, but this is back-to-back fourth quarter comeback wins for a very young OKC team. So young, in fact, that we thought, they're going up against a champion veteran team. These might be the tough games for them. And it turns out, Lou, it does not appear to be the case. What have they been proving to you along the way?
What you just said, Beadle, they win by committee. Like when you start the fourth quarters, it's easy to just pinpoint SGA when he makes shots. But all of these guys make shots. All of these guys make plays. Offensively and defensively, they make plays. Like even Jokic tried to take a breather and guard Lou Dort for some possessions. Lou Dort goes 3 from 3 from the three-point line. Like he's making him pay by switching off and trying to find somewhere to hide during games to get a breather. That is costly to you if you're trying to win a game. You look at it, Jalen Williams, he makes a big 3 before SGA makes a 3 to get them in this basketball game. They have so many different guys that make big plays throughout the course of basketball games. It just makes it difficult to beat this team, especially when they're on their home floor, when they're in front of their home crowd. They play their best brand of basketball, and you don't even know where it's going to come from. Like, is SGA their closer? Absolutely. But that can change night in and night out, leading up to who's going to take the last shot. So many different guys make an impact on OKC, and that's what makes them tough to beat. That's how they can grind out a game like that last night where Denver goes 7.5 to 8 minutes without scoring a basketball. You're going to get a lot of different production from a lot of different guys, and they're going to continue to put pressure on the rim. They're going to play in the mid-range. They're going to get stops. They're going to be scrappy. They're going to press you up the floor. They're always going to put themselves in a position to win games, even when they're down. And that's what you saw last night. I expect them to have another big game going out in Denver. I still think this series is going to go 7, but the way that they playing, if Denver is starting to wear down and get tired, this is going to start going OKC's way fast.
Interesting.
Man, I hope it goes 7.
Interesting.
And think about
I mean, I do too. It's the only one.
I wanted to go 7. Yeah.
Like, come on.
Isn't this the exact kind of path that they should want and embrace if you're this young Oklahoma City Thunder team, where you are getting battle tested? Nothing is coming easy. Like, you have to earn every single possession, every single quarter to win. Every single game has come down to the wire, comebacks, giving up leads, maintaining leads. Like, this is how you become a championship team. So I love the fact that Oklahoma City is going through this. Like Boston last year just kind of cakewalked right to the finals championship. They got a couple of tough breaks that went their way. Oklahoma City is not, and they are playing against a really, really good team, experienced team that's been to the top of the mountain before, and they're going to have to go and knock them off. And this is how they start kind of getting that respect from everybody and from media, going and knocking off a Jokic team with the Denver Nuggets and getting battle tested like this and earning it and kind of closing out these tight games where Dagnall said last night, like, SGA, this cool and calm collectiveness about him, he gets better when the game gets tighter. And when they get to the end of the game, he gets more calm. And that's just his presence alone. Obviously, his game does wonders, but his presence just keeps this team together, no matter how young they are. So if I'm the Thunder, I am stoked because we might look back, and this might be their toughest series of all when they're holding the trophy at the end here. So I think this is huge for their development.
You make a great point.
Is today the first day where they're finally favored to win it all? I feel like today's the first official day that has now happened.
I don't know. I don't know. The internet tells me New York. Everybody loves the Knicks, but that's
like a feel good thing. I don't.
Yeah, but that's what we said though. The playoffs are much more exciting and interesting when the New York Knicks are involved. So they're getting a lot of that good media coverage. But OKC has been the favorite to come out of the West all season, and Chandler just mentioned it, man. When you go through the worst of the worst, when you got to play the best, well, not the worst, but when you got to play the best teams to get there, it makes it much more enjoyable and it proves it to yourself. I heard SGA say it early in this series when they got down a game that they enjoyed this. They want to be the team to go through the rigors. Like, they want to see what they're made of. If they come out of this, I don't feel like they feel threatened by anybody else that's left in the field. I think they get all the way to the finals and they win the chip if this is the way that this goes.
Like, Lou, I know we've played, obviously, and if I'm on the Thunder right now and I'm looking, I see the Timberwolves up 3-1, I know we can beat them. And then I see, let's just get to the finals and we get the Knicks or the Pacers. Like, again, nothing's going to be easy. Things can happen, as we can see. They can change quickly. But I am looking right now. This is our NBA
Confidence is
final.
sky high.
Yeah, like this
If I
is
get
our
through this
final.
one, confidence is sky high if I get through this one.
No doubt.
This does feel, you know, and I ain't saying it that way. It does feel like it's a tough one. Also because on the other side is arguably the greatest player.
And the Nuggets, by the way, are thinking the same thing. They're thinking we can beat those other teams too that are left. No Celtics, no Cavs. Like we get one more game too. Let's go game 7. Anything can happen.
It all changed literally in the blink of an eye. The entire sort of expectations and hopes and dreams of how this playoffs was going to go. Can we get to Jokic for a second? Because he did have the 44, 15, and 5. Obviously, it's not enough. Charles Barkley said that he carries more responsibility for his team than any player in the league, Lou. Do you agree with that statement?
I agree with part of it, but I think that's how this team is built. I think they're built around him. Like, think about how they initiate their offense. How do they have to go? They play through him on every stretch of the imagination on the offensive end. He's their leader in assists, leader in points, and all of these things. And when you kind of play with a guy like that as his teammate, you tend to kind of want to just play off of this type of guy instead of lightening the load. I think that's what you've kind of starting to see with this Denver Nuggets team. Like, they look like a team that's kind of spoiled by playing with such a dynamic player. When he needs somebody else to bring the ball up, make different plays off of the dribble. Jamal Murray tried it last night. Like, I give him a lot of credit. He was 10 for 27 from the field, but in a big deciding game 5, at least he took 27 shots. At least he was trying to do his part. I know Michael Porter Jr. is dealing with a shoulder injury. He's not shooting the ball and playing as well as he would like. He was 0 for 5 from the field. But if you remember in the last series, they were talking about him being even engaged and being involved in what's going on. So a lot of these guys have to step up and they have to give him something, but they are trying. Every time I look up, Aaron Gordon is getting the offensive rebound. They are trying. But again, if this is how the team is built, his load is going to be heavy based on how they run their offense and what they deem to be a successful way for them to win basketball games. And that's him being a playmaker. With that comes a lot of energy being spent and your shoulders being heavy trying to carry the team. It is what it is.
Yeah, and Lou, you make a good point too about the Jamal Murray. Like, this is what we wanted from James Harden. You know what I mean? This is what we wanted from Jimmy Butler last game. You think Adelman's sitting there showing film today being like, Jamal, that's a tough shot. This is a bad shot. It's like, no, this is when you need your best players to play their best. I don't care that Jamal Murray is 3 for 13. At least he is out there leaving it on the line when his team needs it the most. I want him to do it again. I will live and die if I'm the Nuggets with Jokic and Jamal Murray taking 20-plus shots every single night. They deserve that. They have earned that right. And Jokic is probably the most valuable player team. We saw all year long how bad this team was without him, how good they are with him. There's another guy in the East that's up 3-1, Jalen Brunson, the same kind of effect on their team. He was pretty good when they was on the floor, and the Knicks rolling when he was there, sprained his ankle, and they kind of took a huge slide too. So I could argue Jalen Brunson, but Jokic is unbelievable, and you got to give credit for OKC, how they're kind of putting him in positions, how they're making him play both sides of the ball. Hartenstein is battling with him. It's exactly why they signed that dude. So he was great last night. It wasn't enough, but I have no doubt that, this team is going to bounce back. Game 6 is going to be competitive. And I hope, like we said, I hope it's a game 7 because this is the best series. And I think we're looking at the winner of this series as the NBA champion. So I love this series.
Well, that was a jinx that you just threw out in the air. Awesome. I know you say like you think this could go 7. Here's my only pushback that concerns me a little bit. It's that whole fourth quarter stat that Denver has now been outscored 63-37 in fourth quarters in this one, which is obviously I assume a fatigue situation. They're playing every other day. They're a little older than the guys that they're playing. How much of that is a concern, Chandler, as far as getting this thing to 7 and then moving on after that?
It's a concern because obviously, again, you want to be playing your best there. You want to be not turning the ball over. You want to be keeping, those possessions are priceless, and they're giving up a lot of them. And again, Michael Porter is dealing with this injury. 1 for 7 last night, 0 for 5 from 3. I think he's going to be better. Aaron Gordon has been great. He's been one of the more clutch guys in the playoffs this season. So I think they're going to be fine. It's just they're so much better when it's a balanced attack and everyone's involved. And as good as Jokic is, and he can go and have these explosive stat lines like he did last night, I like it more when I see Russ has 17, Brown has 13. Watson has 10. And then Jamal, you know what I mean? Like, I like it better when I think their team, their offensive movement, their flow, everyone's touching the ball, everyone's happier. I think that is the best version of the Nuggets. So I think we look for that game 6 for more of a collective effort. But Murray and Jokic, they got to be aggressive. They got to leave it all out there. This is it for them. So the fourth quarter, it's the struggles. Those numbers are glaring. 63-37 is not what you want to see, but I expect them to be better in this coming fourth quarter in the game 6.
Listen, two things can be true. Two things can absolutely be true. They can be fatigued, but again, if your best player is guarding Lou Dort, and that is a way for him to try to get a breather, a way to steal minutes on the defensive end, and Lou Dort makes you pay by going 4 for 8 from the three-point line, 3 for 3 when you guard him. You're just playing against a better team that has more options and that has more guys that's capable of beating you than you have on your team. So can they be fatigued? They're fatigued because they're playing a team that puts pressure on you for 48 minutes of a game. They never take plays off. They don't take possessions off on neither end of the floor, and it's starting to show. Can Denver's schedule be a part of it as well? Sure, but it ain't like they're playing against a team that's allowing them to breathe either.
I mean, you're right. It's kind of the series that we're all hanging our hats on now as these other guys are seemingly winding down. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, one of our faves, Gigi Jackson, is back. Yeah!
Don't start, man.